farmer who had simply been guilty of making large deposits that apparently caught the bank's attention and the IRS's attention as if something nefarious was going on. Fast forward, nothing was. But he had his money impounded, all of that money that was out there impounded. And then the government kept a huge chunk of it, still does, about $30,000 worth that he is not getting back anytime soon, even though I stress, much against the government and the IRS's original charges, something weird was going on. Nothing was. Attorney Seth Berenzweig says that the IRS is wrong here. Doug Burns says in this case, it is right. Oh, so Seth, to you first. Sure. You think this is overreach, right?
Absolutely. It's an abuse of power. This is a case of due process flipped upside down. This is a husband and wife that are they're not running a criminal conglomerate. They're running a small dairy farm in Frederick County, Maryland, and the IRS agents came in, asked him a couple of quick questions, and they seized his assets. Now, under this tortured approach, they have the burden of proving that they didn't do anything wrong in order to get their money back. So it's really a situation where everything's turned upside down. It's fundamentally unfair and it's outrageous, and it's going to crush a business like this because they don't have the breathing room to be able to have this frozen. It's just really an outrageous situation. Well, that's what I'm saying.
And Doug, you're a lawyer here, but as you know, I watch a lot of legal shows, so I qualify. I think it is, Doug, the IRS admitted that this guy was doing nothing wrong. This couple was doing nothing nefarious or foul or the Sopranos-like. Give him his money back.
Yeah, no, I'm not limiting my analysis, to this case, saying it's right or wrong. I mean, let's get a little perspective, Neil. Between 2005 and
do you think he should get his money back? Yes or no?
Yes, he should. If it is established that he did nothing wrong.
We have nothing to argue about.
But between 05 and 12, those 8 years, there were 2,500 cases, 242 million seized. Okay, and the reality is the IRS is empowered if they think that somebody's structuring their transactions. But they overstepped here,
and he should get his money back.
To do it, but occasionally, Neil, you're going to get a fishing net that catches something that doesn't belong in the net.
To that point, Doug's point that, some innocent victims get caught up sometimes, but to the good. You say what?
Well, I think that's like trying to catch a mosquito with a hammer. There's much more refined and very simple ways to do this so that you don't crush these poor innocent businesses. Why don't you have some kind of a notice for an expedited hearing? Why don't you put them in some kind of a temporary receivership where you can monitor the account and then just have some kind of a due process hearing? This is a situation of basically David versus Goliath, where David has limited cash and Goliath has unlimited resources. So I agree with Doug. There's a problem in the background, but there's certainly a more refined way to do this so that we don't crush small businesses.
Well, Doug knows nothing about refined. I'm kidding. Doug, I want to thank you.
Neil, also, the IRS commissioner, look, I know he's taken a lot of punches lately.
Yes.
But the reality, Neil, is he testified a couple of times before Congress and said, look, a federal prosecutor and a judge should approve this. And again, not to be a broken record, we would hope that you're not going to get people who are just totally innocent. But he's not getting the money back. He's not doing that. He's saying sympathy, and this poor guy is out $30,000, and that's outrageous. All these obnoxious questions about the IRS were forwarded by my producer, Ralph. We'll have more after this.